Welcome back. During the Biden years, the Vice President Kamala Harris was tapped as the administration's point person on the border. Well, we all know how that all worked out, right? But the Trump administration has taken an entirely different approach here, one that involves the entire government.
That's right. We've seen a lot of feet and boots on the ground and horse hooves on the ground when it comes to Kristi Noem. Homeland Security Secretary, of course, Kristi Noem. We talked about her yesterday touring on horseback. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Secretary of State Marco Rubio are all taking action. And now Trump's new Attorney General, Pam Bondi, is also getting involved. She's ordering the DOJ to pause all funding for sanctuary cities as ICE raids across the country kick into high gear.
This could be big for the city of New York. As we know, it's been ground zero for all of these illegals that have come over the border and into the biggest city. Here with reaction, let's bring in Allie Hopper. She is the consultant on human trafficking and also a paralegal who's testified before Congress on the topic of border security, as well as former DHS Acting Deputy Chief of Staff Lora Ries is also with us. Lora, I want to start with you because this is something that we've now seen, but I want to get to some of these members of the TDA gang, because we know that some have been caught in Colorado, some have been caught here in New York City. But now they're being shipped off to places like Guantanamo Bay. Can we expect more of this? And where specifically are they going to, ICE agents, are they going next? Are they going to continue to focus on New York City, Chicago? Where is it going to happen next?
Yes, well, first of all, good riddance to TDA. These are the worst of the worst, and this was a Biden-created problem. We did not have this gang in our country before Biden took office. And so Tom Homan and the others are going to continue to use any resources that they have. Guantanamo is very helpful and not new. We've used that across administrations, including the Clinton administration, to house illegal aliens. Where they're going to go to next, I don't know, and really no one except those planning the operation should know. And we're running into a problem here potentially with a leak because apparently there was going to be an operation for more in the Aurora area today. And
who could be behind that leak? Who do you think is behind that leak?
I don't know, but they need to investigate quickly and apply consequences, because that can't continue if we are going to try to protect American citizens.
That's right. Allie, speaking of protecting American citizens, I know you're a consultant on human trafficking with President Trump's, I'll say, more holistic approach, using multiple members of his administration to accomplish this campaign promise. How does that affect the very terrifying reality of human trafficking? Does it very quickly ebb the flow, or will that take longer?
That's a very great question, Katrina. Thank you so much. So as soon as the Trump administration took office, we saw an immediate decrease at crossings at the border, on top of the fact that the executive orders that came out very fast and furious, one being the designation of the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. They are terrified of having their assets seized. So I was at the border the weekend of the inauguration, and we actually saw border crossings still occurring, lesser than before, but the smugglers weren't even coming into the country anymore. They were leaving the migrants at the border line and not crossing them into the country, which is very different from the past administration.
Laura, I want to get to this because we also want to show what's happening at the southern border. The U.S. military has begun to fly surveillance aircraft along the southern border to collect intelligence. This is relating to Trump's emergency declaration at the border. We also know that the cartels have been given the go-ahead to attack Border Patrol agents. What are you hearing?
Yeah, it's good to see our Defense Department doing this. We need eyes in the sky again, and we need the intel. During the Biden administration, it was just the cartels sending drones into the air to gather intel and then send their drugs and people across accordingly. The Biden administration, in contrast, took down CBP's eyes in the sky, whether it was the aerostats, those small blimps, or took down the cameras or rendered them out of service. So it is good to see the Defense Department fully involved here. We need that information to stop the cartels and the damage that they're wreaking upon American lives.
Very, very different policies and approaches with these two administrations. All right, Lora Ries, Allie Hopper, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Coming up, President Trump's buyout plan for federal workers has a new deadline after a federal judge pushed the window back now to Monday.
But first, President Trump talking about faith and what his administration is doing to protect religious liberty. We have Congressman Ashley Hinson, who was at the breakfast, standing by to give us her reaction. Congresswoman, see you in a minute.